Welcome to Gregor Mortis's Little World of Horror. This is my DVD Blu-ray movie review episode for the week. I think it's like my fourth or fifth now, so as I've said before, each and every week, usually on a Sunday, I'll be doing a full movie review for you, the viewers, to watch. And this week I've decided, because of the day it is, June 15th, it is Father's Day, I thought it'd be what better time than to pull out this movie. And it is none other than, check this out, Troma's Father's Day. As you get a good close-up here of this movie. And I'm excited to talk about this one. This is a very, very disturbing film, fans, by all means. And, you know, we've got, Troma had did a movie back in the day called Mother's Day that I absolutely enjoyed and loved. Well, then they come out with this one, which is Father's Day. And this is a straight-up typical Troma film. With this film, you are getting cheesiness to the T, but I really, really do enjoy this film. And I'm going to keep looking back and forth over here, fans. I apologize, but that's because this is where my notes are at. This was released in 2011, and Astron 6 helped direct it and put it out. And the first thing I want to mention, this is the Blu-ray copy, is I loved the intro to this movie. When you start it, they've got like these custom trailers from like back in the day at the drive-in, kind of, or even at home. And matter of fact, one of them's like Astron 6, and it comes up with a commercial of what's going to air that night. Star Raiders and a couple other flicks like that. So it was really neat sitting down and watching this kind of in a drive-in kind of feel. Also, the movie itself, what they done was filmed it kind of like the Tarantino's Grindhouse films. They used the program where it makes it look like it's grainy and got the lines going through it as they're talking through the whole movie. So they kind of gave it a 70s drive-in theater style feel, which doesn't bother me. It worked for this one. It worked for Grindhouse and Death Proof and that. So, you know, I don't fault them for that. Now, like I said, this is a Troma film. So if you are not familiar with Troma, which you should be if you like horror, what you get with Troma is some cheese films, like you get the Toxic Avengers and Surf Nazis and so many great films, and I'm an absolute fan of Troma. I just absolutely love those cheesy flicks, and that's certainly what you get with Father's Day. And get you another close-up there again. Now, this movie, and I'll read the plot off the back of the Blu-ray, even though it doesn't kind of make sense to an extent, but I'll read this. It says, Father's Day follows the classic story we all grew up with. Boy watches father raped and murdered. Boy grows into a vengeful, one-eyed man. Man teams up with a priest and a male prostitute to take down his father's killer. It says Father's Day is over-the-top, tasteless, senseless, and completely hilarious. That was from Ain't It Cool News. Fangoria said destined to become a midnight movie classic. And LA Weekly said spot on, occasionally surreal, and frequently very funny. Bloody Disgusting says makes hobo with a shotgun feel mainstream. And Film School Reject said better than Tarantino's Death Proof. Now, I won't agree with that. Now, I do love Death Proof, and I don't know that this will be a midnight movie classic, but it's still a really good film. But the plot is Ahab is a revenge-crazed, deranged psychopath hero fresh out of prison. Now, this is where it doesn't make sense, because when they find Ahab, he's not in prison. He's on the other side of the world in a cabin. But anyways, for mistakenly slaughtering the ruthless monster who raped and murdered his father. But fathers are still being violated in the behind, dismembered with hacksaws and set on fire. A teen hustler years ago and seen his degenerate demon back to hell, literally, blah, blah, blah. So that's your plot. Now, I really do, once again, enjoy this film. This is a very grotesque, very disturbing film. Now, the opening scenes, once the movie starts, you see this character, this gentleman, just cutting up bodies. He's cutting skin off, he's eating them, he's putting his face and just completely mauling a body apart. So it was really, really gross, man. I loved it. Gore. And the effects is something I did want to talk about in this one. I was really thoroughly impressed with the blood work and the gore in this film. I mean, it really is outstanding. Now, there is a ton of nudity in this. There is a ton of girl nudity and male penis nudity in this one. So be warned that there is nudity in it. But it's all in good fun. I'm telling you, it's just a phenomenal film. Right here, as you see some of the artwork once again on the back. But Ahab, and like I said, I'm going to be flipping back and forth over here a little bit, so bear with me. But the character of Ahab is played by Adam Brooks, and then his sister is played by, as I get this thing to scroll over, Amy Groening, and both of them done a tremendous job. And then you've got the character of Twinkie, who's played by Connor Sweeney, and Walnut, which is his friend Garrett, and then you got Father John Sullivan, played by Matthew Kennedy. Now that's your main cast. The rest of them are, fill-ins and that kind of deal, but that's your main cast, and they've done a really good job. Would I say they're acting stellar? I wouldn't say that, but it's still, for what this film is, really good. It's very entertaining. The whole movie, like I said, set up. You got this guy, Chris Fuckman, who was a serial killer. He had raped and murdered men, fathers especially, and then he supposedly was killed. But then Chris Fuckman is back, and this is the whole movie, is Ahab, the character of Twinkie, the sister Chelsea, and then a male priest are out on a hunt down to try to find Chris Fuckman and try to stop the killings of these fathers and the rapes and the murders that's taking place. The movie rolls really good. Now, toward the end, I will say that this movie really goes out into left field. I'm talking, wow. I mean, it totally just fucking goes crazy off of the chart. Weird. But I still enjoyed it. It's an enjoyable watch for sure, fans. If you like Cheese Fest, if you like horror movies that are gory, you'll love this one, because it is definitely a lot of blood, a lot of boobs, a lot of penises and everything else in a movie. So very disturbing. I'm telling you, they got that right when they were talking about over the top, tasteless, senseless, and completely hilarious. It's all of that bundled up into one. I've seen this movie 2, maybe 3 times now, and I've really enjoyed it, and it gets better each time because I know what to look for. And there again, toward the end, you do have a cameo from Lloyd Kaufman, and Lloyd done a great job. He plays God and the devil, God/devil, and some really disturbing scenes there as well. So if you're a religious person, by all means, I would not watch this movie whatsoever. It's very sacrilegious, but as a horror fan, I absolutely loved it. And like I said, the kill scenes are really good in this film. I'm talking, you see everything from heads being blown apart to bodies being chewed up to chainsaw. There is one kill scene with a chainsaw to a person's face that was just amazing. So I was really impressed with the makeup effects of this movie. So if you're looking for a good horror film, if you're looking for a good comedy cheese horror film, this is definitely one to check out. And it is Father's Day, so why not watch it? This one may too, if you are subscribed to Troma's YouTube channel. This one may, I haven't searched it, but it might actually be available to watch on there. But this one will definitely be a mainstream video for me to watch every year at Father's Day. I will be watching it just like I do Mother's Day, Halloween, Friday the 13th, all those that fall on certain days that happen every year. This one will definitely be watched. So definitely check it out. As I said, I never give a 1 to 10 rating on these videos. I give a thumbs up if it's a purchase, side view if it's a rental, and a down if it's a trash. This one's definitely getting a thumbs up from Greg and Mortis. I give it a Greg and Mortis approval. Very disturbing there again, but I loved it. I had fun with it, and I highly recommend checking it out. It's very reasonable to buy if you want to pick it up on Blu-ray or DVD. I just say if you got a Blu-ray player, pick it up. I'm glad I've got it in the collection, And it's got some really good effects in it, I am not going to lie to you. So great job by Astron 6 and for Troma. Thank you for putting out a film that has the cheese that I expect from Troma, but also has some good scenes in it. So thank you for that. So this is Greg Mortis. It's June 15th. It's my weekly movie review. It's none other than this old flick right here called Father's Day. Give you another close-up right here. That's one of the scenes there. And then another big old close-up there of the cover art, which is tremendous. So get your hands on it. Greg Mortis approved. So I always try to say, keep horror alive, and that's one movie review and one horror movie at a time. Signing out.